Where'd this broken bolt come from?
No. It's been in here the whole time.
I can tell you where it's
Welcome back to Broke Ass Performance. What are we up to today, Matt?
Okay, so this time we're going to actually take off the front suspension of this 2004 Mazda Rx8, and we're going to be replacing the front suspension with some lowering springs. You may be doing OEM or some form of stock or coilovers or something else, but the process should be the same either way. So we're going to start off by showing you the first thing. Obviously you're going to take off the wheels. That is the real first thing. No, second thing. First thing, jack it up. Second thing, take the wheels off. Third thing, take the strut bar off. So, looks like there are, what is this? 12. Okay, so we got two 12mm bolts right here that we're going to take off to start with. This will be the same for the other side.
With that extendable action with that wrench there.
Yeah. Always showing the extendable action. Ours make a really nice noise when you take them off, which sounds like sandpaper on sandpaper.
But really it's rust on nuts.
Well, yeah, basically, rusty nuts. But to be fair, these are a lot cleaner than the rest of the car. I don't know if we've shown the car yet, have we?
Not really.
Not really. That's to come. Two more on this side. Theory, this guy should come off. It was a little harder than I expected, but it came right off.
The one that was underneath the strut tower is not corroded.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was less exposed.
So he's removing the 3 bolts that hold down or hold the strut hat on.
And apparently this strange bracket here for the actual sway bar.
Yeah, it adds a stud for the sway bar there.
This one would be a sway bar, it would be a race bar?
Strut tower bar.
Or a strut tower bar. And then you'll repeat on the other side.
Okay, we got the top bolts off. We showed you that already. Now, in the wheel well, there's 4 bolts we're going to need to take off. First one is the ABS. There's a 12mm bolt right there. And that's going to give you some slack on this ABS sensor so you don't have tension on it and you don't break it. And then you want to unbolt this control arm, and it's 2 17s. There's one on this side and one on that side. And you're going to unbolt those, and that'll give you room to move this all out. And then the last one you're going to undo is the one that actually holds the strut in down on the bottom, which is also a 17. So we're removing all 4 of those.
Okay, so right now Marshall's taking off the ABS sensor bracket. And then he's just putting the bolt back in so we don't lose it. Alright, so now he's pulling out the bolts from the actual upper control arm.
And we have a jack down here that's just keeping pressure off the bolt so that it has more room to kind of like pull out. So then
Exactly.
The other ones are out, so this is the last one. And then we have a vice grip on it for more leverage. And then we just pull it out.
Bam. Easy peasy.
Yep. And then
The rest should pull back all together.
Well, I used the pry bar last time. I stuck the pry bar in here. Kind of like so. This is a little different than the other side, like that. Pulled it out.
And it pulls out.
That, and like that. That's all out. You want to let the jack down? I can let the jack. Okay, are you still recording?
Yep, so now the strut has dropped down.
You can see it's all
We got freedom.
loosey-goosey.
And we're out.
Sweet. Now we just have to take off the
top hat.
The hat.
Okay, so we're putting on, as it's called, the McPherson strut compressor, or spring compressor, I'm sorry. And this will compress the actual spring so that way when we take the top hat off, it doesn't just launch off, which can be very dangerous. So
Yeah, you're talking thousands of pounds of pressure right here.
Right, and this is a pretty nice setup right here. It's got these locking bolts, or whatever you want to call them, locking rods here.
Show them the one that you can put on. Yeah, when you're done fucking around.
Yep, so we actually rented these from O'Reilly Auto Parts. They were like $55 to rent, which is a lot of money. But you get all your money back afterwards, so if you don't have any of these, just rent them. Bring them back. They give you your full money back.
Show the camera that one.
So, basically you put a coil in each one of these slotted areas, and then you lock them in with these guys so that it's not going anywhere. Then you can put an impact on this end, which this part's loose here, but what happens right down here is this is threaded into it, and as you impact on it, it is actually threading this in, compressing the actual spring. So, pretty simple on this style. Most styles you're going to want to put the impacting end on the bottom, but not all. Some of them you can do it otherwise. And then you're going to find a spot where it fits on, lock in your ends, hand tighten it, ideally 180 degrees away from where you've got the other side at. And then I believe, yep. Teamwork. Now we're going to compress it. Probably enough. Okay. So then, from there, it's the same as the rear in our last episode, where we are going to take a 5mm Allen, which fits in the top, and then you're going to try and loosen your 17mm nut at the same time. So you're going to hold this to have the tension on the 17mm nut to take the nut all the way off. And after that, once you have it compressed, it should ideally not pop off on you, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so now we're going to pull the bushing and this top washer off, which goes as such. Freedom from your strut. Now we're going to loosen it up.
We do a little bit on each side.
Alright. Sorry, Marshall's mom. So, then we're going to pop off the locking portions. Pull the spring compressors off. Reveal our completely busted boot that we're going to use, which is probably better than the last one. And in here should be a couple of extra goodies. Or a extra goodie. We are missing...
It's right by your heel.
found it. Same concept as the back one. So basically, your bump stop, collar, and your other bushing here. You're going to go on top of your strut as so. And then you're going to put your lowering spring, stock spring, coilover, whatever you're doing over that. And then you'll take your top hat, which ideally hopefully has a better boot than this, put this back on. Followed by bushing, washer, nut, same process to put it back on. You may need the Allen wrench and a wrench to tighten this on, your 17mm wrench, Allen wrench and top to hold the top, I don't know what you want to call it, spindle or rod. And then after that, it's a reverse process of taking it off, start putting it back together, and hopefully your stuff ain't as ratchet as ours. So let's move on.
Let's try and put it back together. Okay, Matt is putting the spring compressors on our Tein Craigslist lowering suspension.
So mint, brand new, perfect.
So we got all 4 lowering springs and all 4 struts used for $50 in what I would say 50% condition. You know,
sure. We'll find out.
60% condition.
Better than what it was before. Did we show them what happened to the rear? I think we did.
Yeah, we did. So he's gonna compress that spring a bit, about 3/4 of an inch to a whole inch.
That's probably enough. So now, yep. So we're gonna put these guys back on. Your bump stop, bushing, nipple side up, if that's what you want to call it.
I like calling it a nipple.
Your collar, nothing wrong with nipples, we all got them. Then you can put your spring back on, make sure it seats properly. Take that back. We're gonna do that after we put the seat, the spring back on. Put your spring on.
Bring it this way just a little bit.
Put your spring on. Putting half my broken boot down.
Half the boot in. Booty, 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 booty. You gotta turn it just a smidgen.
It's like stuck.
This fandangled freaking suspension compressor. You kind of gotta jigger that boot in there a little bit.
Yeah, if you're, you know, half jacking it like us.
Oh, we're crooked AF, huh?
Gonna put your
nipple up.
No, your bump stop in, locking collar with your nipple portion up on your rubber stopper. Rest of it, mint.
Mint. Okay, I'm gonna help Matt get that in there nice and square. Okay, when you put the top hat on, you want one bolt lined up perpendicular, would you call it, to the bottom bolt?
Your one, because it's kind of a triangle formation, you kind of want this to be lined up with the perfect gap down here, more or less.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to be perfect when you put it in, but it'll help you in the long run.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and tighten this guy up now a little bit. $17mm nut. So far, nope, not yet. It may turn the whole thing, and in that case you need to use your 5mm Allen in the center of the actual rod, threaded rod on the top. We're getting lucky so far. It does not seem like the whole thing's turning. Our last one did, so we did need to use that. Make sure you still have your spring compressed when you're doing this, because you're going to decompress the spring after you've gotten your top hat, yep, secured down.
Rock and roll.
So next thing we're going to do is take the spring compressors off now that we get it fully tightened. then, once you've got them off, take your locking portions off, get them out of there, return that $50, $55 loaner tool that price gouged you to start with. You get all your money back. Now we're ready to put it back in all of its glory. Yeah, this is all cinched up in there, no longer good. We messed that up pretty good.
Perfect.
But oh well, it was pretty shot anyway. So let's get to the installation portion of it. Okay, so to get it in, we put the actual strut and spring through the top. Just hand tighten all of these. None of them are tightened by any means. And then, what are we doing down here, Marshall?
We shoved the upper control arm back into its spot, and then we just got the bolts threaded in by hand, just started. They're not tightened yet.
Correct. So now we're gonna go ahead and now try and tighten, or put the bolt in
On the
at
bottom,
the bottom of the strut itself, and then we'll tighten it all up. Okay.
This is the bolt for the ABS, and it's a 12mm head. And then you bolt it back down to the knuckle right here, which I can't see and show you at the same
We kind of
time.
saw the bracket there, but he also
Yeah.
just got done bolting up the, or tightening up the control arm bolts at 17s and the actual strut to the knuckle itself, another 17 mil.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so we put all these in here just hand tight to kind of hold the whole strut and spring suspension assembly here together. We're gonna loosen them up. Don't make the mistake we made the first time and not put your bracket back on. You're gonna make sure that your strut bar, brace bracket, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, so basically
Just back on
that
there.
bracket adds a stud right here
Correct.
for your strut bar.
Ooh, that could have been seriously bad.
Strut towers are tightened on. Now we are putting the strut bar back on.
It might go this way. It goes this way.
It can go either way.
No, it can't. It'll
Only
go one way.
only the one way. Either way, it's only going on one way.
Absolutely, every time.
I know it's dark in here, and that's why it's called Broadcast Performance, because we can't afford lights.
Hey, we got one.
We got one light.
One.
But our film crew is our mechanic crew is our light crew. So light crew is off today.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
I mean,
And last episode too, if you've seen that one.
that's called being cost efficient.
Yeah.
Where'd this broken bolt come from?
No. It's been in here the whole time.
I can tell you where it's been. It's been right here in this hole this whole
Yeah,
time.
since
Put it back.
since you took
Put it back. That's a good luck charm.
You took that out of the hole in the next video.
I don't know when it was taken out.
What-
It may not have even been us.
And you want to tighten down the strut
12 mils.
bar to that's 12 mil to Mazda spec, which is
I mean, I go German spec, which we're getting used to at this point, which is just Guten type.
pretty tight.
Alright guys, so that is how you change out your front struts and springs on a 2004 Mazda Rx8. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, you know, just let us know what's going on, and check this out before you peace out.
Alright guys, peace out.
Broadcast Performance is what it stands for.